To be the champ, you got to beat the champ, and Sierra Leone is the reigning Breeders' Cup Classic champion as he returns to the site of his biggest win of his career in a dramatic victory over Fierceness and Forever Young. Two horses he has to face again. What's amazing is that none of the top three finishers from last year's Classic will be favored in this year's Classic.
Yeah, this is I just cannot wait for this race to run. And I mean, looks a picture of health. He's 2 races back. He won the Whitney by a length. He's coming off a second place effort in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. I think definitely one thing that he will need is a setup up front. I know last year they went so crazy, that 44 and 4 half mile that he was able to close into. So it's going to be interesting how quick the pace is going to be this year for him.
Yeah, I think he, to your point, Mike, I think he's a horse that's going to get overlooked, excuse me. And I don't think he should. He's got the race in him. He's proved it. I thought arguably he ran the best in the Jockey Club. I thought he was the best because he was impeded early on, and he was taken. I mean, he comes from far back. I get it. But he was taken even further back than normally. He was 15 lengths back in the Jockey Club, and he was only beaten a length and a half. Right?
And he was 15 and actually taken back to 18.
Yeah.
I mean, for a horse to, and he only got beat a length and a half
exactly
in that race.
So I think, from a visual standpoint, he ran the best race in that. So if he gets the right setup, I think he will. I think there's enough pace in here, but he's going to be a decent price. I mean, he's going to be around that same price he was last year, 7-8 to 1.
What kind of a horse has a better chance of beating Sovereignty? A Fierceness type who's very close to the pace, or a Sierra Leone that could catch him late?
Well, and we'll go back to that again. I think the Rabbit's going to have a lot to do with it, controlling the pace. Because if you have Contrary Thinking and Fierceness, no one's going to go with the Rabbit. They know why he's in there. But it's a really hard situation because whoever is riding Contrary Thinking, if they open up by 15, that's a waste of time, right? You ride the race like the horse is not there.
Yes.
Who's ever sitting in second is the pacer. Right. But if they lap onto Contrary Thinking and the pace is pretty honest, I think Sierra Leone gets the right setup.
What was amazing about last year's Breeders' Cup Classic, as we take a look back to a year ago, it was how fast the pace was, and how Fierceness was very close to that pace, and he never backs out. It took an excellent run from Sierra Leone to best him, and that's why many think that even in defeat at the time, this was Fierceness's best performance of his career.
Oh, I still think that. Before he ran in the Pacific Classic, to me, even though he was in defeat here, but take away all his wins, I thought that was his best effort. I mean, to go a mile and lay close to a 44 and 4 half mile and hang around would be impressive. That was a mile and a quarter. I mean, you rarely, if ever, will see a half mile that fast.
Do you think Sierra Leone loses some panache in the eyes of the handicappers and the fans of horse racing because he had such a great setup in last year's Classic, and he does seem at times to be a little pace dependent, Simon?
Yeah, I mean those horses in the eyes of handicappers that they just look at the results. Yeah, he's not going to get as much love because he runs second and third quite a lot, but the race is always there. I mean, he always has the potential of upsetting again, and I wouldn't even call it an upset because he beat Fierceness in the Classic, and prior to that he ran against him. It was in the Jim Dandy, right? Yeah, he was only beaten a length by him, so he's not that far off of them. I mean, he's absolutely a legitimate contender. Looks like, yeah, he's just jogging here. You see, he's got the bell boots on in front, those 2 plastic covers over the horse's feet, so he doesn't reach up and grab himself.
So Sierra Leone, your defending champ in the Breeders' Cup Classic for Chad Brown, on the track right now. And he's, I'd say, about a quarter of a mile, maybe 3/16 of a mile away from the Breakfast Marquee, which opens today. Joe, you're going to love it. Free food.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Favorite kind of cuisine. The one you don't pay for.
Do they have lunch and dinner, too?
Slow down. Slow down. Finally, something about Sierra Leone. I love this horse. Hey, you just got here, Crystal. We're going to give you all the Sierra Leone you can possibly handle on the next 3 days of the breakfast show, but he just got here. It's his first day. He was in New York making all the final preps there. Now he's made his way to Southern California. But Sierra Leone, tremendous talent. And look, shout out to the connections. He won the Classic at 3. They kept him around for a 4-year-old campaign and a repeat date with Destiny. We'll see if he can't get the job done. he may be facing the toughest field of his life in this year's Breeders' Cup Classic.
One thing about his record, too, he's never been worse than third in 13 career starts. I mean, he's run against the best. I mean, that's very, very impressive.
That's the thing where I laugh at. People say, well, Sierra, he's made $7 million. He's won a Breeders' Cup Classic, and he's never been worse than third. It's nuts.
By the way, Chicago Cubs girl 17, go Cubbies. Big fan of this team. I think that the house has good bones. Sierra Leone is one of my favorite horses. I definitely don't think he should be overlooked. I think he's going to be right there at the end. Absolutely. He is going to be making that move. Whether that move is good enough to win, whether it's going to leave him second, third, or off the board, that was what needs to be determined. But you can rest